Hi, I want to talk a little bit about politics and specifically about these bailouts. Now, it's true that it's possible to create a thought experiment where the mere amount of money is the most important part. It doesn't matter what you intend to spend it on. But I still think, and this is such a great amount of money, maybe that holds. But I still think that even more important is how you spend the money. So, for example, you should not bail out the American auto industry. It has been incompetent at one of the most important parts of engineering for decades now. And don't tell me some one model or something. I'm talking about getting reasonably priced quality cars to people. American automakers no longer do that. All right. So I think America could have gone without an auto industry for a while. I think there's plenty of engineering genius left in the United States to pick up the slack. It would take a while, which leaves saving that industry because of the jobs. Well, with a $500 billion, you could go ahead and start a jobs program. You can employ those people while the auto or other industries gear up or they get other skills and move on. You can bridge that gap if the issue is jobs, because we have a lot of jobs that need to be done in this country. Now, similarly with the banking industry, now it's different. You can't just have the whole banking industry collapse, but you could give the money to people besides those that have screwed up. There's other banks, there's World Bank, there's more responsible banks. And when you buy these mortgages or give the money to the banks rather, with the idea that, oh, and that'll slow some, they won't have to foreclose or this or that. No, they go ahead and foreclose anyway. They give themselves bonuses, which is entirely predictable. And none of that I don't think is necessary. The United States government would be better off seizing the whole business or buying the loans as they did in many cases. Go ahead and foreclose on paper even if you have to. Seize the property as owner of the house, but lease it to the people in the houses so that they can still be there and give them, a grace period to get back on their feet. In other words, I do not believe in a trickle-down economy. I believe that you put the fertilizer in the ground and it rises up to the top. And if there's not enough that it never gets to the top, then fine. So, this is my disappointment on the bailouts, is how the money was spent. You should give it to people. People spend their money. If you give it to poor people, even if you gave it to people that should have known better than to get in that bad loan, but you don't want the economy to collapse, rather than give it to the criminals that thought that they could sell, bad loans bundled together as a AAA, rated investment, give it to the people. And even if they don't deserve it either, at least they need the money and they will spend it and it'll go right back into the economy instead of just going into a bank account which is drawn on only to give bonuses. Okay, so this is my main complaint about this kind of endeavor, is the way in which it goes. Now, if you need to create a jobs program, then that's what you should do. And we do need that. We should have much more public works programs, and that's how that money should have been spent.